Well, I'm gonna be. Shit, my fucking mic is down, but I'm not. What I'm talking about today is very, very important, and I want to give it some attention. Especially as a man myself, I think it is a serious problem. And I think it is a problem that affects both genders. Just like women's mental health would affect a man too, a man's mental health would affect a woman. We both affect each other, and this just as a society, but I do want to bring awareness to men's mental health, because it is, when I'm releasing this, Men's Mental Health Month. And I do want to talk through my own experiences and what I think are the reasons why men choose to unalive themselves. Reasons why men jump off that bridge or use that rope on a tree. I can't explicitly say what I'm talking about. I think. I probably am. I don't know. But I am talking about killing yourself. Unaliving yourself. And a lot of men have known to do this. A lot of men have known to kill themselves. And I want to give my reasons why men's mental health is so bad nowadays. And it's none of the ladies' faults. You sexist men out there that probably are going to point the finger at women, it's not their fault. It's our own. It's some women that are assholes, which that's just humanity. That ain't just because they're women, that's just humans. And we'll probably get past that at some point. But it's our own damnation, I believe, that have caused suicide to happen. Because we are our own bully. Because I'm going to explain my experiences as a man. If you're a little bitchy or something like that, you will aggressively be beaten and shamed as a man. And especially if you have any mental illness, like how I have slight autism or Asperger's syndrome, you will be pitied and judged in a man's world. You don't want that. Our egos get the best of us, but we're slowly taught to not be human. Have you ever heard a woman say, "How can they be so cold?" I'm going to explain why we are. Why you don't see us crying, why you never see us like that. Most of the time. Why you'll never hear those things is because we've been taught over time by our classmates, by our brothers, by our fathers, that you are a bitch if you express sadness. And we don't get compliments most of the time. You hear a woman gets compliments all the time. I don't really get compliments as a man myself. And I feel like if you ask men in general, they will say they do not get complimented. But yeah, it's where you store. We don't have fathers that teach us how to express anger or sadness as a human being. We're just taught to shove it down. And it becomes a lesson that's more reinforced over time, especially in the dating pool, which I think we shouldn't care about, but a lot of men with big egos do, where if you cry or show expression, you are shunned and give women the ick. And also, we're meant to be the workers, the providers, and not meant to have dreams of our own. I'm glad that's being dissolved over time, but it's the toxic masculinity that is the thing that burns us. And I'm not talking about roughhousing. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking about the legit bullying of each other. How we make fun of each other and burn at each other's throats. We're like tigers in a pen with no food. We rip and gash at each other's throats like hungry animals. And it hurts. The animal might not die, but it changes its behavior. And I've had, for example, I never really have seen my dad cry or express emotion besides maybe happiness towards his kids and anger. And that has become a common theme around my friends. I've never seen them express sadness before, but I've seen them express happiness and anger before. The only two emotions you'll ever really see a guy express openly. And that changes a person over time. Because that's our male role models. Around us is our dads, our uncles, and all that. And we want to be tough like them. And we don't want to be perceived as weak and pitied. And I think the problem is what leading to the suicides is that men, when they bottle up their feelings, when they don't express the sadness in their heart or anger and just let it burst out, because yeah, the sadness and all that turns, as I'm gonna reference a Family Guy thing, when Peter Griffin says in the show, holding down those feelings until they burst out into blind rage is an accurate statement. We have to keep continuing on forth to provide for people, even if we really want to take a break. But we do that exact same thing. You'll never really see a man cry. We don't get compliments, we don't get all that. We just go day in, day out. That's it. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. My alarm went off. That pissed me off. But you'll notice a lot, yeah, that it will burst out and become anger. Like, for example, I've seen my dad punch a hole in a wall. But yeah, and I hope as a society we heal this part, that we try to at least neutralize as much as we can of this part. And if you're a man out there, I really want to tell you, make sure, especially if you're a father, the male in your life can cry and talk to you. They can express their sadness, their anger, and not let it burst out into rage. Especially if you're a dad, do not let these Andrew Tates, these influencers that teach them this is what masculinity is, this is what being a real man is. If you're not that, then what are you? To corrupt them at this age. Please. Because that's gonna hurt them in the longest run possible. And a sad thing, yeah, is sometimes men can't take it. They can't take being this angry bomb for their life. And so they decide to end it all. They decide, what's the point of being in pain all the time? And so find a relief, a way out by suicide. And I have felt that before, where I was so angry and sad I thought of taking my own life. And I get it. I get that feeling, and I don't want people I know to feel that. Luckily, they did not succeed because of my own stupidness. I'm glad I was stupid enough to fail those things. But, yeah. And this is the darkest, creepiest thing I can admit. I have thought in my own head of ways to do it. To put that gun to your head and pull the trigger. I have thought, what if I've done that? And I know I wouldn't now, even though I still have those kind of thoughts once in a while. I knew I wouldn't. And I have legit had rage so much I've hurt myself physically by using my nails to claw at my leg. And seriously, if you are dealing with depression or anything like that, you're not alone. And please, if talk to someone, get help. Because that's also another thing in society, that we look at mental illness as something disgusting and to pity. Having either a disability, a mental disability or physical disability, or a mental illness as something disgusting and something to pity and look away from. And I think we should get better at this. And if you know someone with a mental illness, yeah, comfort them and try to help them through it. But if you're a father or a mother watching this, please let your kids know about mental disabilities and illnesses before they become an adult. Try to at least put it where it's normalized in their head, so they're not like those weirdos that stare at people because they have it. I have noticed people do legit try to trick me or look at me in disgust. And I have felt like people have pitied me because of it, and I hate that feeling. I hate it, and I don't want people to go through it. And we gotta fix these things in society to help society. Because if we get rid of those stigmas, it's not gonna be quick. I'm not saying that, but if all the parents that are raising the future generations can put that there, can put it and teach them about these mental illnesses and disabilities as not a bad thing. But yeah, men, I get what you go through, and I hate being a dude sometimes. And I know you've probably felt that too, at least either in your younger years or your older years, where you've hated being a dude, where you just wish not to be a woman, but that you couldn't, that you didn't have to have these expectations of, you gotta be a man, you gotta stop being a little bitch, be a man. And this topic really does legit kind of makes me sad to talk about, because it is a legit problem, and it's something I want people to talk to their husbands about, and make sure their husbands don't store everything inside. Turn that sadness into anger. Please, if you're a man watching this, don't stop. Please stop doing that, because you need to have an outlet for this. I don't care if it's art or something like that. Just please let these emotions out. You're not a little bitch or a pussy or a little boy for expressing your feelings. and for being a little feminine. Because that's also a problem too, is that, yeah, we are literally our own downfall. But there are women that do horrible too. Like the women that I've seen on YouTube and TikTok, where they don't let their man do this, and it reinforces it. Why do you think so many men are mama's boys? It's because it's the only person that'll actually listen and let you cry into their arms and let you actually express this. But yeah, if you need someone to talk to them, dude. Go to therapy. Go to therapy if you need to. Because I've had anger and sadness stored in my body before. And I've had emotions I've just caged up and locked away. And it is not healthy. It is not healthy at all. If I ever have kids, I will try to teach these things to them. Try, because I want them to have these in mind. I want them to have a healthy relationship with themselves and not care what other men think, and have insecurities that their body is either too fat, too skinny, and disgusting, and that they aren't a real man for looking that way. Because that's also something I figured. When I had weights class, I hate looking at my body. I wanted, every time after, I would wear a sweatshirt. Most of the time, I'm fine with it, with my body. But when I looked myself in the mirror, I hated it. I hated looking at my body. Because I am a very skinny guy. But, yeah, I hated being that way. And I couldn't, I'm gonna admit a secret. I feel like I can't be my feminine self. I'm not gay, but that's what people would think of me. And I know being gay ain't a bad thing, but I don't want them to assume something that isn't true about me just because I act a certain way. And people do, because I do act more feminine than a normal man. And that also hurts, is that I have to lock a part of myself away because of other men. So please, don't be that man that judges. Be that asshole. Help that person back up, and don't judge someone for a mental illness or a mental disability, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the shit that they're hiding and the anger they have. And yeah. But I do want to look at one thing. Crap. And I know women commit suicide too. I'm not. They don't. And we do legit gotta get better. Suicide statistics. Yeah. that's still a big number. I know these aren't men. But non-Hispanic or American Indian, most of them are men. Some female, a lot of them are men. 100,000 per 100,000. That that is the part. Only like a shit ton more of men are killing themselves, and I think this is why. Because we hurt ourselves. Because we're taught these toxic, disgusting ways of how to be a real man and hide who we are, and it causes shit like this. It causes disgusting shit. Not disgusting, but like shit like this. I mean, like, when I mean disgusting, I meant like the way that we teach our future, the future generation, our sons, on how being a real man is. And but it is mostly the older generation doing this, which makes sense. They were taught to not be a pussy. And when you look back, it makes so much more sense. And I'm glad not that many young people, but young people are still doing it, and it hurts. Because, yeah, you had to not be a little bitch. You can't show your emotion. I think that's what's causing it. We gotta make sure our grandpappies, our fathers, and our sons know it's okay to express who you are, to express emotion, to express sadness, and to talk to someone. Because this is what happens when people, men, females, all that, don't think it's okay to express who they are. They just bottle it up and don't talk to people and hide who they are. And the reason I think why it's mostly men is the toxic masculinity shown by other men, that you can't be who you are, that you gotta be what society makes you. You gotta that you can't express yourself. And I hope, if I ever have a future son, I hope my nephew or my friend's son, not son, brother, younger brother, or his other younger brother does this. And it's really fucked too. But and also most people are doing firearms. All of that is the fucked up thing. Is people that's just flipping them. Alright. But yeah, please teach your sons, teach your kids, and teach your grandpas and your fathers that it's okay to express who you are. It's to cry. Because when you bottle all that up inside, sometimes you can't handle it anymore. And you do something you'll regret. So please, don't do it. Get help. Call a suicide hotline. Get any help you can. And just to tell you, someone out there does love you, and I know how it feels when you die or someone. When when you kill yourself, it does genuinely hurt them. Because they thought you were happy, they thought you were okay. As in, you're not anymore. You're not there anymore. I don't know how it is to have someone you know just die, just kill themselves. Because some of my mom, like one of my mom's friend, accidentally died, and I know one of them purposely killed themselves, I think. But please, get help. And it's okay to cry out there, man. Out there, guys. But please, have a lovely day. For me. Love you guys. Bye.